Advisory Council General Meeting will be called to order. It's September 26, 2024, and it is 5:11 p.m. My name is Amanda Kennington, the facilitator of this council. To my left is Ms. Ashley Cox, elected SHAC Secretary. Mr. Reed, our parent co-chair, is unable to be with us this evening, but we would like to welcome you all and extend our appreciation for your time this evening. Ms. Cox will document the attendance.
Good evening, members and guests. Has everyone signed in? Yep. Appointed members, please listen for your name as I call those who are present at today's meeting. And I'm just going to call the roll. Tanya Alexander. Denise Hernandez. Present. Natalie Arteaga. Present. Yolanda Bean Brown. Present. Kimberly Brock. Teresa Caldwell. Amber Carter. Sam Chapa. Patricia Cheshire. Valencia Davis. Rhett Doberstein. Natalie Edwards. Sandra Encinas. Pavandeep Kaur.
Sure, thank you.
Cody Guillory. Allison Halliday. Jesse Harden. Wes Hines. LaShonda Huff. Michelle Casely. Kim Kostek. Joel Coons. Rachel Lathan. Wendy Martinez. Preston Miller. Mirtha Morales. Stephanie Myers. Melissa Ornelas. Patricia Pena. Sarah Pruitt. Maria Ramirez. Anna Rodriguez. Nawase Sherman. Diane Slack. Trisha Times. Adrian Ware. Kevin Robleski. And was there anyone that we didn't call that's here? Just be sure to get signed up at the end of the meeting, and we'll get all your information down. For meetings of the full SHAC, a quorum is the majority of the current membership. Meetings may still be held without a quorum for purposes of presentations or discussion. However, no actions or voting may take place without a quorum. Mrs. Kennington will count the total number of appointed members to see if we meet quorum.
Thank you, committee members. We do have a quorum of the committee with 39 in attendance. At this time, if there are any board members or guests present, we would like you to stand, introduce yourself, your role, and be recognized. So any guests that are here today, and actually I will introduce you because I know that's kind of awkward. Thank you for being here. Ms. Cameron Cutlarts. Just kind of hello, thank you for coming. Angela Dunson. Kristen Reyes. Thank you. Ms. Carrie Smith. Thank you. Bruce Cortez. Thank you. Yasmin Lozano. Thank you. And did Mr. Harry Allen come back? He was here at the beginning. Any other guests? Thank y'all for being here. So today's meeting is being recorded as a matter of public record. Please do not use jargon or acronyms. Confidential information should not be discussed. For the sake of those listening to the recorded event, we ask that each member, staff, and presenter use a microphone and state their name each time prior to beginning the comments and speak clearly, concisely, and at a level appropriate so your voice and any comments can be heard. SHAC meetings follow a basic set of norms for conduct at meetings that allows for everyone to be heard and make decisions without confusion. We hope that you've come prepared and empowered to make contributions for your area or function. Each member is responsible for ensuring that you understand the options before making any decisions that you feel are reflective of the needs of the community. For each general meeting, members of the public can provide comment or concerns by emailing shac@gccisd.net. The communications will be shared with the SHAC Executive Council for consideration. And the SHAC Executive Committee received a formal resignation of an appointed SHAC member, Campus Representative Lorraine Joseph. So the total membership now stands at 50. We have 28 parents, 19 district staff, and 3 community representatives. GCCISD SHAC shares meeting information on the district website. On the district website under Goose Creek United School Health Advisory Council. Audio, archived minutes, and agendas can also be found on the meetings tab. And members, you also on the inside of your folders, you have QR codes that will link you straight to those websites as well. So it's for agenda item B. It's my pleasure at this time to honor some special SHAC members and share some district accomplishments. At this time, we want to invite Ms. Rodriguez, Anna Rodriguez, to come forward. We would like you to accept a gift and certificate to express our sincere appreciation for serving as the 2022-2023 SHAC Secretary. Please give her a round of applause for her dedicated time and efforts.
Next, we are proud to announce that 25 SHAC members are returning from last year to serve on the SHAC. At this time, the SHAC would like to recognize members that have shared their expertise, provided guidance to members, and supported various district wellness initiatives while volunteering on the SHAC for the past 3 years. We are so thankful for your 3 years of service and dedication since the year 2020 as appointed members of the SHAC. We would like to invite Teresa Caldwell, Natalie Edwards, Kim Kostek, Lee Martinez, Stephanie Myers, Patricia Pena, and Kevin Robleski to receive a token of appreciation. Please give them a round of applause.
Ellie could not be here tonight. He's not feeling well. I'll get to him later. So yes, thank you for your 3 years of service and volunteering your time to the SHAC. So at this time, we are going to honor some very special guests that are here tonight. And on page 15, specifically, page 15 of the Goose Creek At a Glance Back to School magazine that you have, you're going to learn about the role of PE teachers in Goose Creek CISD and the efforts that these professionals are making day in and day out to provide opportunities for students to be physically active. Each day, develop knowledge, they develop the skills and confidence to support student wellness and reduce childhood obesity. You're also going to learn in that article about the growth of the educators as they participate in training cohorts and not only attend professional development, but they also provide the learning opportunities for campus staff and for their colleagues too. Tonight, we're honoring 4 PE teachers that work to get together to present not once, but twice at the state level to over 280 attendees at the Texas Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance, we call it TAFER conference, this past July. We're proud to honor the following GCCISD Catch PE community trainers: Cameron Kotlartz, Joel Kuntz of Highlands Elementary, Bruce Cortez and Kristen Reyes from San Jacinto Elementary, in recognition of your outstanding performance and commitment to achieving excellence and growing leaders in GCCISD. Let's give them a round of applause as they accept a plaque donated by the athletic department. There's some pictures from their presentation at summer conference. From their conference. Can you tell us your years of service? We'll start over here on this one with Ms. Cameron. Tell us your years of service, Ms. Cameron.
This is my second year teaching.
Been teaching for 10 years, but my second year.
I'm 13 years. I taught 5 years in dance.
Thank you. I just love them to death. They're amazing people. Thank you for being here. Welcome to stay.
All right, we have 2 more celebrations to announce before we move on to new business. First, the 2022-2023 coordinated school health efforts were measured and data was compiled and is displayed in the slides and will be added to the meeting minutes. In May 2023, with the support of the SHAC, 12 GCCISD campuses were recognized for earning the 2023 Whole Child Wellness Award for their efforts in advancing the health and well-being of students, staff, and families through a coordinated school health approach. Crockett and Victoria Walker earned silver level awards. Clark, Banuelos, Bowie, Lamar, and Travis earned gold level awards, and Alamo, Highlands Elementary, Pumphrey, San Jacinto, and Harlem earned platinum level awards. The Whole Child Wellness Award is supported by Be Well Baytown, an initiative of the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, sponsored by ExxonMobil, which provided funding to each of the schools as an incentive for their efforts. We are thankful to Be Well Baytown for their support of wellness initiatives in Goose Creek CISD.
So if you're from one of those award-winning schools, give yourself a round of applause. Are you from that school? We have some in this room here today, some champions from those schools that lead those efforts. So thank you all for what you do. I don't know if this video will play. It doesn't show up there. I'll share the slides. This happened to me in the principal's meeting as well. I went to go and share the slide of the video, and let me see if it'll work. It's going to take us to another page. Hold on. I'll probably start somewhere in the middle of the meeting. I think it's because I'm in slideshow mode up here. Hold on. All right, I don't want anyway, I will send, it's okay, Ms. Brewick. I'll send the slides, and what it is just a slideshow of all the different schools. The awards that they received were pictures from that year, coordinated school health efforts, and that was presented to them at the board meeting. So I'll make sure that we share that so that way you can see the slides, and it also has some fun music that goes along with it. All right. So lastly, as a result of the SHAC wellness plan that we implemented this past year, the requirements for all schools to complete the Healthy School Assessment, which began last year, 3 of our Goose Creek campuses have now, just today, been announced national recognition and added to the America's Healthiest Schools list. The schools that earned this actually were chosen from different topic areas. The schools are Alamo Elementary, Harlem Elementary, and Impact Early College. Alamo earned recognition in 4 topic areas, and Principal Abbott and I have been invited to represent Goose Creek in Washington, D.C. in October for the America's Healthiest School Leaders Summit. So let us celebrate that accomplishment for our district. Any questions from the floor? All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit into the next agenda item. And on April 18th, our last meeting of the SHAC 2023, our SHAC members voted to elect the incoming 2023-2024 officers so that the process of a timely flow of information and business could be taken. The SHAC membership approved the meeting minutes from that final SHAC meeting of 2022-2023. Therefore, we have no action item or old business at this time to attend to. And returning officer David Reed will serve as our SHAC parent co-chair, and newly seated officer here tonight, Ashley Cox, is our SHAC secretary. They've been assigned their specific duties and committed to satisfying the major time commitment required. There will be other leadership opportunities within our subcommittees, and that's actually what we're going to do next. So next, we're going to take some time this evening just to kind of structure and schedule out some subcommittees and work briefly to identify some areas for action. We've done a little bit of the late work already with some of the thoughts that you shared during your application process. So it's a good process just to start gathering all our thoughts and kind of bring to the table what are the concerns, what are the curiosities, things that we want to learn more about. So our SHAC standing subcommittees, that is where the decision making happens in our School Health Advisory Council. The standing subcommittees are the focal point of the activity that happens. During those committee meetings, members will gather information, they'll analyze data, they'll make recommendations then that they bring back to the full SHAC. And those items can then be developed into information items that are turned into action items that are brought before the school board. If you'll take a look at the handout titled SHAC Subcommittee Charge, which describes the role and function and roles of the 4 SHAC standing subcommittees, it's Right at the end of your table, so. It's actually, sorry, if you're at the head of the table on this side, there's two handouts, there's a blue sheet. For each person at your table, if you don't mind passing that out, the SHAC subcommittee charge. Yes, they kind of pass it around. Thank you. So on the sheet that's being passed around, that set of handouts is what we're going to use for this next activity. Do we need any more?
One more over here.
So on this handout, it describes the role and the function of the 4 standing subcommittees. So I just kind of took from the past 3 years facilitating and what areas that we all have worked on, what activities we've done, and kind of put it onto these areas, so that way you kind of get an idea of the work that's been done and that continues to be done. So I'm gonna ask our district executive leaders to share. You can use this sheet, but if you would share a little bit of information about some of the recommendation areas, some of the things that we've worked on in your component areas. So from nutrition services, we'll ask health ed, PE and physical activity, and so on for our subcommittees, just so everyone kind of gets an idea of some of the work that we've done. So at this time, Ms. Edwards, where are you? Do you have a microphone back there? And you're welcome to stand or come forward, but would you mind just sharing just a little bit about some of the work that we've done? And you can just kind of highlight, if you'd like, what's on that sheet from the subcommittee charge. Appreciate it.
Working. Can y'all hear me? Okay. So what we have done, we have visited the campuses, lunch at the campuses. We had meetings where actually she participated, looking at things that we're going to serve on the upcoming menu for the. So we do our menu planning in the spring and following school year. So our subcommittee worked on that. They worked with us on promotions, promoting healthy eating in the school. Had a few meetings just to also like operational issues and the speed of service of the kids getting through or just getting information.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm kind of putting y'all on the spot. So for health education, part of my role in the district, and I'll stand up too, part of my role in the district is the Healthy Community School Coordinator. So I oversee what's called the CATCH program. It's our Coordinated School Health Program. And really it's an obesity prevention program where we promote nutrition, we promote physical activity, and it's primarily kinder through 8th grade that we do the CATCH program. But we also have health education. All our PE teachers in the district are responsible for teaching not only the PE Texas Essential Knowledge Skills, but also the health education knowledge skills, which you would think it's kind of one and the same, but there are 2 different lists of knowledge skills. And so making the time, trying to find the time for health education is a very important part of that health education subcommittee. We have some PE teachers here tonight. They can tell you they're putting it in wherever they can. They have the resources, but it's just finding the time to make sure they have the resources and the time to be able to put those in. So in that health education subcommittee, a lot of times we'll talk about that. At the junior high level, we just finished, or today was the last full day of abstinence education that was going on for the past week and a half. And so that was a large part of the work that we did last year, was the abstinence education program that the School Health Advisory Council did recommend to the school board. And then Kevin Robleski can share with you about high school health, as he is the Associate Director over high school health and science. So Mr. Robleski, do you want to share anything more about health education? And then that subcommittee also involves not only the health education component, but also our physical activity and fitness subcommittee, which, to tell you, that's the only mandated SHAC subcommittee. So we here in Goose Creek, we choose to have these other standing subcommittees. The only mandated from the state is the physical activity and fitness subcommittee. Mr. Lee Martinez, our athletic director, is a SHAC member. He's just not able to be here tonight. So I won't speak on his behalf about physical activity or athletics. But if you're interested in contributing to that subcommittee, just know that it's all combined into one. Employee wellness, health services, mental and social health. So there's a lot that goes encompassed into this, but we feel like it all goes hand in hand with our staff wellness, our social emotional learning, all of those. So we've kind of combined that into one. I will say before I hand it over to Ms. Myers, Ms. Pena, and Ms. Caldwell, that we in the district, we have an anti-bullying committee, a district level committee. So here in our School Health Advisory Council, we don't address specifically bullying because there is a separate committee that's already formed for that. Ms. Myers is our director over employee wellness. Would you like to share any of the work that we've done the past? Hi, Ms. Kathy. Any of the work that we've done in the SHAC subcommittee?
Good afternoon. So we worked on a couple different things within our organization. Of course, we're working on staff wellness and making sure that our employees are safe and well, and we have different programs that we have at the campus level and do seminars to help with that. But we also have worked on the Sun Safety Committee and making sure that there are certain things that at the campus level and that our staff is aware of those things along with their trainings. Did the wellness actual protocols and making sure that when we were looking at food for the campuses and then also different wellness activities we have for employees and doing fairs, that we have all of that as according to the guidelines.
Perfect, thank you. And we are fortunate to have our Director of our Student Services here with us as well. So Ms. Smith or Ms. Pena, as our Coordinator over Health Services, would you like to share some of the work that we do on the SHAC for your component areas? Both of you, either one? Yes, you are welcome to use it. Let's go, Oprah. Thank you, Ms. Pena. And then Ms. Caldwell, she's our coordinator over behavior and mental health support systems and under the counseling and social emotional learning component area. Would you share a little bit about the work that we've done?
Under the behavior and mental health portion, we basically, as Ms. Stephanie mentioned for the employees, we are on the student side. And so what we're looking for and what we've been doing over the past couple of years is just ensuring that those services are available and met for those students. If they're having any type of behavior or mental health crisis, that's where our department steps in. We provide the services for them, really honing in on making sure that they're receiving. So whenever a student has an outcry, we are ensuring that those students are receiving at least 9 weeks of intervention to ensure that they are, receiving somewhat support. In addition to that, part of the other task that our department has is to ensure that we're pulling in community partners. And I see that it's mentioned Dakota. Dakota is one of the partners that we recently signed an MOU with. We also have the Harris Center. This year we have TCHAT that is district wide. It was last year was only for Chambers County, but TCHAT and the Harris Center. Now we also have Spindletop. We have the Felton that are some of our community partners to ensure that our students are receiving the services. For the most part, receive the services on campus.
Wonderful. And it does mention in here about Bakota, so I kind of bring that into that umbrella as well. So Ms. Amber Carter is here. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about Bakota?
Dakota is short for the Bay Area Council on Drugs and Alcohol. I am the coordinator for the Southeast Harris Community Coalition. We just bring all sectors of the community coalition and coalition. They're just one branch.
Thank you so much. Sorry to put you on the spot, but I'm kind of doing that tonight. Ms. Natalie Artiega, where did she go? Oh, hi, from Chambers Health. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Chambers Health?
Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Artiega. Off of the medical grant. Most of the time,
Perfect, thank you. And then this, I think, is a good opportunity because we're still in that realm. Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Ms. Yasmin Lozano is a guest here tonight, not an appointed member, but we did invite her here. We'll probably hear a little bit more about Bridge Over Troubled Waters, but do you, Ms. Lozano, would you mind giving us just a brief overview of what Bridge Over Troubled Waters and the partnership maybe here in Goose Creek?
So Bridge Over Troubled Waters is a sorry.
I know, I'll put you on the spot.
I am part of the education and prevention around the area that age group justice. We talk about healthy relationships that go over consent, bystander, and prevention.
All right. Thank you for being here. And so, like I said, if there's other community organizations or you want to hear more about some of these things, you're welcome as a SHAC member. Email me, say, hey, we want to hear more about this program or we want to learn more about this organization. And we'll definitely make sure we make that a part. I know Amber's presented before to us. So just definitely just reach out if we want to learn a little bit more. But as you notice, that is a large subcommittee. There's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. But I feel like we make it work. We definitely do. So just keep that in mind. In a little bit, I'm going to ask you to kind of choose where you feel like you most can contribute. You can be on all the subcommittees if you choose to. I heard that earlier. I want to be on all the subcommittees. Okay, you can be on every subcommittee, but you may just have one that you have a passion for. And then finally, our family engagement and community involvement. I help Sam Chapa. He is our warehouse foreman here in the district, and amazing. Employee wellness, fitness, everything. He's like number one in It's Time Texas. He's everything, but he's been wonderful as our family and community involvement coordinator too. Do you want to tell a little bit about our subcommittee for that?
Yeah, so we promote family engagement and community involvement, support, healthy habits, learning, that kind of thing. While I have the floor, do you mind?
Yeah.
So,
sure.
We promote It's Time Texas, what the district and what the community, of people involved. healthy. So we actually have community wellness fall festival, which will be
November 4th. I have the flyer up now.
so we will be promoting
Tuck
in
that in now.
Texas at the Making of the Fun Community Wellness Fall Festival. So if you want to be a part of the fun, we will have a booth for anybody who wants to volunteer or participate in. Um, maybe we're looking at maybe 2 volunteers, 30-minute increments per shift. And that's what we're going to be doing is just talking to the community, talking to the district, talking to parents, anybody who's at this festival about SHAC Texas and promoting those healthy habits and whatever learning and also myself and Amanda will be reaching out with Lauren Cycle, who's the athletic program coordinator in the city of Baytown, and also giving us permission to also host a couple of booths at some of her events. So I'd like to volunteer for those events as well. Just reach out to myself or to Amanda.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Sam. All righty. So now that you've learned a little bit about our subcommittees, we're going to do an activity. This is called the 4 C's, and this is going to be to kind of establish some priority areas for the subcommittees. What I want you to do, you have the second page of your handouts that you were passed around. It was the second page behind that subcommittee charge that I had you look at. It's just a list of different thoughts. So it says at the top, do you have something specific you want to accomplish by joining one of the previous listed subcommittees? And then you'll notice that we have our thoughts. And so what you're going to do with this is you're going to take just a few minutes to read through the comments. Feel free to make some notes on the document. While you're reading it, I want you to jot down some areas that you're like, wow, that should really be celebrated. I think this, is going really great in our community and in our schools or in your child's school. Any concerns that you would like to be addressed, something that really stands out to you, or maybe you see it several times that were thoughts within the comments. Maybe considerations, things that maybe don't seem as dire like right now, something that maybe we should consider sometime down the road. And then things that you're curious about, maybe you want to learn more about. You look on there and you see some thoughts and you're like, I don't really know about that, but I'd like to learn more. I want you to make some notes just based off of the thoughts that our applicants provided. So I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to give you just a few minutes. And I do have a few Spanish copies. If anyone needs those, just kind of get my attention as I come around if you need those. we on time? Okay, so hopefully you've had a little bit of time. I know it's a two-pager because I can't just do one page for some reason. That's me. But hopefully you've had some time to make some notes or some things that stood out to you. So we are going to be getting up in just a little bit, only if you are not kind of within the subcommittee that you choose. And again, you can be on every subcommittee, but where you feel like you can most contribute, what speaks to your heart, what it is that why you are serving here on this committee. We just want to make sure that you're kind of in the right fit. And then, like I said, you are welcome to join every subcommittee meeting if you choose. But when I say go, I'd like you to move into one of the 4 working groups. So on this side of the room, and I'll try to stand up. On this side of the room, we have nutrition services. Okay, so Miss Natalie Edwards will be over here in this area. Family and community engagement in this area. And then we'll probably end up having this whole long table for our employee wellness, health services, mental and social climate. And then physical activity and fitness subcommittee and health education in this area. And y'all are welcome to kind of move chairs if there's not enough space, because we're just going to take a few minutes to share out some of the things that you noticed on there. What were some of the concerns? What were some of the curiosities? What were some of those things? And district leaders, we will be selecting. Let me show you the directions. So once you select number 2, when I say go, once you go to those new subcommittees, you're going to select one of the subcommittees that you'd most like to contribute. You can introduce yourselves very quickly. And then I'd like you to go ahead and identify a parent chair. So this has to be a parent member that wants to be chair, have a leadership role within that subcommittee. And then a subcommittee secretary. The secretary doesn't have to be a parent. It can be anyone that likes to take notes. It doesn't have to be detailed minutes, just jotting down notes, because I will have a paper for that subcommittee secretary to take some notes on tonight. Then you're going to share some thoughts. Okay, you're going to go through the activity here. You don't even, if you want to write down everyone's thoughts, you can on your own, but you're going to say, what were some things that we could celebrate? What are some concerns? What are considerations? And what are some curiosities that you have as a group? And that secretary is going to jot those notes down for the group. Then you're going to determine a fall subcommittee meeting date. Our next SHAC meeting is November 28th. So before November 28th, we want to have at least one subcommittee meeting before that meeting. That way we meet, and then at that next meeting, we can share out what it is that, if there was any action items, any recommendations from your subcommittee going forward for the fall semester. So just kind of determine what works best for your group. And then it can be in person, virtual, day of the week, time, just kind of come up with a consensus, and we'll do the best that we can for the group. And then before you leave, that new subcommittee secretary, please turn in your subcommittee charge, which I'll be handing to you after you select your secretary. This paper is one per group, one per subcommittee. So I'll give that one per paper, but please turn it into Miss Ashley Cox before we leave today. Okay? So we're going to just take a little bit of time to do that. If you have questions throughout, please ask me. But at this time, I would like you to go to the subcommittee that you would like to be in. Where's that at? All right, committee members, if you have not scheduled your fall subcommittee meeting to continue this discussion, if you have not scheduled your fall subcommittee meeting, please talk about a good date, day, time, or if you have a specific day. So please schedule your fall subcommittee meeting. Decide if you want it virtual or in person. What day of the week works best for everyone? What day of the week works best for your meeting? We could do a blended meeting too. If you need virtual and in person, we could probably do a blended as well. Day of the week, time. And if you have a specific date in mind, that would be good too. I know for our campuses, our next PLC is November 7th, so that might be a good day maybe. November 7th is the PLC day. That might be a good day. Might not be a good day. It's an election day, is that? Oh. Yeah, it's a PLC day, so people may have more openings, I don't know, or not. Okay, if you are the parent chair of your subcommittee, please stand up. If you're the parent chair of the subcommittee, y'all give them a hand for their leadership role. Thank you. And then if you are the subcommittee secretary, note taker, please stand up. And give them a hand. Thank you for taking wonderful notes. Appreciate it. And subcommittee secretaries, if you will turn those papers in to Ms. Cox before you leave. Committee members, if you haven't, if your name is not on that list that your subcommittee secretary has, make sure you are on that list before we leave today. That may have your attention.
And if I may have your attention, we have some final announcements for the good of the order before closing out the meeting.
Clap one time if you can hear me. Clap 2 times if you're listening.
If I may have your attention, we have some final announcements for the good of the order before closing out the meeting. Amanda will be sending information via email for some educational opportunities, such as the Texas Action for Healthy Kids Fall Summit, hosted virtually October 24th through 25th, and save the date for the It's Time Texas SHAC workshop on Wednesday, November 1st at 2:30 p.m. The district will also be providing educational opportunities for students, staff, and the community during Red Ribbon Week, October 23rd through 27th. Be sure to follow GCCISD social media to learn more. I know Sam already spoke on this, but Amanda, do you want to share a little bit about the GCCISD Community Fall Festival and how SHAC members, campus, and district representatives can participate?
Yes, so all of our district departments, Goose Creek CISD departments, are combining to host a community wellness fall festival on November the 4th from 9 to 1. Everyone in the community is welcome to come. If you want to serve on a booth with Sam, that's fine. Or if you just want to come with your family, we're welcoming everyone to come. If you are wanting to host a booth, our community organizations definitely reach out so that way we can have you come up. And campus representatives, meet with your campus school health advisory committee, your SHAC committees, because we have one at every campus. Meet with your committees and see if your committee wants to host a booth. We're asking the campus representatives to host physical activity booths. For example, Harlem last year, they had a cornhole activity. San Jacinto, Ms. Reyes is here. They had, what was it, Ms. Reyes? Trash can basketball, a lot of fun. We had Baytown Junior had a soccer dribble into this huge blow-up target soccer goal. And so the campuses can get involved too by providing physical activity activities or education, like nutrition education that goes along with our catch programming. We also are asking mascots to come up. We're going to have a mascot dance-off, so all the campuses can get involved with that. So make sure that we have you on the list for that. And then if you have any performers, so we like to showcase the physical activity, the before and after school physical activities that are going on, like your cheerleaders are welcome to come. Last year we had Lamar Choir come and they sang a nutrition song. We had the Bowie Bowie young gents came and they stole the show. Everyone just loved them. Did a wonderful job. And so if there is a opportunity for you to come out and participate, we definitely welcome you to be a part of that. And that QR code actually will link you to the campus form. So that's just for campus specific. But just reach out to me or any of our district leaders. Ms. Payne is on there, Ms. Caldwell, any of the executive leaders that are here today, and we can connect you. Thank you.
Thank you. If anyone has agenda topics that you would like addressed, please email the SHAC and or discuss concerns during the upcoming subcommittee meetings. Please mark your calendar for the next SHAC general meeting, which will be held on November 28th, 2023, 5 to 6:30 p.m. Right here.
I'll give a hand to Miss Ashley Cox for serving us today. She did a great job. We definitely appreciate you stepping up in your role today. The SHAC general meeting will now be adjourned. It is 6:16 p.m. You'll help yourselves to some snacks on the way out. If you have questions, your folders, you can keep your folders, bring them back to the next meeting in November. And your badges, please put them in your folders so that way those come back as well. Thank you. You can keep them, yes.